What's up, guys? Once again, it's your boy Frankthaman. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing I'm doing here is lining him up. The reason why I'm doing this is because I've noticed that his hairline is light, right? Not saying it's receding, but it's light. So I want to go ahead and maximize his hairline. So the first thing I do is go ahead and line that up to make sure that I fully see that it's sharp and I don't fade anything that I need to fade away. I'm doing my first guideline right now. And since we're going to be doing a mohawk, this is going to be in like a C angular type of a guideline. I'm rounding off the back. We're not pointing it. He likes it round, as you saw him point in the back there. Essentially, all it is like a half moon, just a half circle on the side of his head. Again, right, if you want to maximize that hairline, make sure you touch it up right there, just like that. Boom, boom, boom. Notice I have the trimmer flipped the other way, right? I don't have it flipped the other way because I don't like to create hard guidelines. And the reason why is because it's very difficult to get a really hard guideline out. Right now, what I'm doing, if you're wondering why in the world I keep spinning, is because I'm saying to myself, are they accurate? Are they both the same C cup, the both half circles? And they weren't, so I'm going ahead and making sure that they are now. All right, now comes the second step, which is balding our client. By the way, I'm sick, guys. It's the middle of August in the summer. I live in Las Vegas. How I'm sick, I don't know. I just came back from Mexico. Did I come back with Ebola or some type of H1N1? I don't know. I hope not. All right, so I did my second guideline, my third guideline now. The first guideline is created with 0. The second guideline is created with the 0.5, which is also the half, and the third guideline is created with the 1.5, which is the number 1 guard with the lever open. And that's what I'm showing you guys here. I like to sometimes save the last guideline, especially when people have like thin hairlines, like how I said earlier. I save the first guideline for last because I want to, like I said, I want to maximize his hairline. So I fade that out at the very end, as I'm doing here now. See, and when you fade, guys, it's all trigger play, right? And essentially what I mean by that is just move the lever up and down until you finally see that it's actually progressively fading up. Sometimes when you do that first guideline, even with the 0 closed, it's going to be very hard to get out. So what I do is I hit it with the corner of that trimmer. Now I'm doing that final and last guideline. I have the 1.5 here. Have it slightly open, and I'm fading out. With coarse hair, you want to go ahead and fade up and fade down, and even fade side to side, because the hair is compressed. So and not only that, but it's also curly, so the hair grows in a circular motion. Which way, it's up to you to find out and fade it out. But you see here, I'm hitting it down, up. I believe I hit it to the side. There you go. I'm hitting it to the side now. Hitting it with the 2 now. And with this, I'm going straight up 180 degrees, straight up and out, right? Because I want I want this haircut to be shaped narrowly to his head, which is exactly how you do it. You see what I'm doing here? And that's another important thing about fading, is that you want every haircut to fit your client's head. All right, you're gonna get a better look at my fading skills. Here we go. 0 guideline, now 0.5 guideline, which is also the half. That means that the lever is all the way down. The 0 is the lever closed, the 0.5 is the lever open. Now I put the 1 guard on there, and I drop the lever, and I created my third guideline. So now I have 3 guidelines. I'm going in there with the 1 guard right now, fading out that third guideline, touching it up, softening it up. All right, now I have there you go, 1, 2, and 3 guidelines. I'm hitting up the first one right now with the lever slightly open, trying to get out that first guideline. See, because whatever you create a guideline with is the exact same number that you're going to fade it out with. So if it's a 0, you fade it out with the 0.1. And then if it's a half, you fade it out with the 0.6. And if it's 1.5, you fade it out with the 1.6. Right here, I'm hitting it with the 2 to soften up that 1.5 guideline, which is a 1.5. Fading it out, softening it up. And honestly, man, I love cutting black folks' coarse hair. And the reason why is because their hair is so easy to cut, man. And again, look, I'm hitting it up and down, side to side with the 1.5 slightly opened to soften that up. And the reason why I say that it's so easy to cut the hair is because like the hair is compressed, so when you go to cut it, it falls off like butter. And since their hair is so damn dark, it looks so fresh when you're done with it, yo. And I always said, man, if I had nothing but black clients, bro, I'd be caked up, homie, for real. All right, here we go. All I'm doing right now is I'm sharpening up that guideline I created in the back. Oh, and if you're wondering why I'll be caked up, right, is because, again, I cut coarse hair very, very quickly. So, yeah, I would make a whole lot of money if I had nothing but black clients. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm freehanding. And the reason why I'm doing that is because coarse hair, the beauty about it is that, like, again, I'm going to keep saying this, it's compressed. So it pretty much is going to do what you want it to do, you know? Right now, I'm freehanding it to shape it to his head. I'm trying to make his entire head oval, and that's what I'm doing. But yeah, back to the black barbers being popular is because 1, their hair is very dark. 2, it's very easy to cut. 3, you can cut a whole lot more hair, coarse hair, than you can straight hair in a day for sure, because it's so much more easier. And you know what I mean? That's why they be looking like they're popping on the social media. I mean, they are, but because their client's hair looks so good, you know, and that's essentially why. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm touching up. We're pretty much done with the fade now, guys. We're gonna be fading in his beard now. Right, boom, and it's the same steps. 0 guideline, 0.5 guideline, 1.5 guideline. It's exact same steps for the beard as well. See, here we go. Creating my 3rd guideline, softening up that 3rd one with the 1.5 slightly opened. Softening it up. I also hit, you see where his beard, like where I would go and line up with the razor, I also hit that up with the 1.5. I never do it with the 1, or definitely don't do it with the half. Because the reason why I do it with the 1.5 is so it could cut a little bit, but I still have, it's still dark enough for me to, when I go line it up, it'll be real nice and crisp. My homie's from Brooklyn, as you can see by the tattoo on the side of his neck, you know, BK. Shout out everybody from BK. I believe one of my favorite rappers, no, I'm tripping. Davies is from Harlem. He says it all the time. I'm tripping. My bad. Biggie's from Brooklyn though, so there's that. Alright, so here we go. Boom. Notice, guys, when you line up the side of somebody's beard like that, don't go all the way straight down. Respect the beard and respectfully go ahead and line it up naturally the way it is. Make sure to dust off your client. Remember that this is an entire experience, so you want to make him feel comfortable 100% all the way through. Alright, we're lining him up. I started in the middle. I always start my hairlines like that. The reason why is because I feel like that's a great midpoint to start and to also to reference. And notice, I'm not even worried about the other side of his head, the right side of his head. I'm just focusing on the left. I always want this to be super crisp, man. If there's anyone in the world who wants a straight line, it's black folks. I'm telling you. They love a straight hairline, so make sure it's always 100% straight. And then look now, I went from the midpoint to the right. I'm not worrying about the left. Why? Because I know that that midpoint is essentially make sure that this lineup is 100% straight. Before I trim somebody's mustache, I always comb it. That always helps get any excess hair that's sticking up. And FYI, 100% of the chance, most people's mustaches are standing up, unless they have a little baby mustache comb, which is very rare. That's not something people generally carry around, you know what I mean? So, and this goes for people who don't have, you know, a beard, you know, just a regular mustache. So always comb it out. Right here, what I'm doing is like I'm grabbing the pick and I'm picking out his beard. Don't be afraid to really get in there, but you know, be careful because it does hurt. You know what I'm saying? So, but don't be afraid to get in there. So right now what I'm doing is I'm freehanding his beard. He told me he just kind of wants me to just get his straggly hairs. And that's something I always recommend to my clients, even if they're growing it out. And that goes for the top of your hair too. Like you have to trim, your hair grows half an inch every single month. So the fact that you're barely even trimming the tips is doing practically nothing to it. So it's not affecting the growth at all whatsoever. In fact, it's actually helping because it's dead hair that you don't need. Split ends and things like that. Alright, so here we go. We recline my man, make him feel comfortable. And you guys, if you're in a garage, man, invest in a barber chair. You know, get off of the salon chairs and give your clients that, you know, that barber appeal, that barber experience. What I'm doing now, guys, is I'm lining up the bottom of his beard. Again, midpoint, you know, to the left, midpoint to the right. It's all repetitive, and in everything you do, guys, you want to make sure that it's always repetitive. That way, that's where skill increases, and that's exactly where speed increases as well. I like to use lather. The reason why I like using lather is because it's warm. I feel like it's inviting, and nothing cold like a gel feels good on the skin, except when I'm doing designs. See, you just grab a warm towel, right, that's already been pre-soaked with hot water, and just take it off. People are like, oh, I don't like using it because it dries up and because it takes a lot longer. But I mean, it's an experience, yo. It's an experience. What's it taking you, 2-3 minutes longer? Like, come on now, bro. It's not that serious. Plus, I feel like you get more money when you use lather because it's a dying art, you know what I mean? Right here, all I'm doing is I'm lining up his beard, his mustache. Make sure you're always pulling the skin every time you're lining somebody up. Usually with the mustache, what I tell people to do is to put their lip down to like stretch out their skin. So right there, you don't kind of have to necessarily put your lip, and you get a better look here. See, I'm holding it. Every time you use a razor blade, you always want to go ahead and pull the skin. Always. Never let go because you will cut your client. Use every corner of your blade, the top left, the right left. See, there you go. See, and that's what I mean by pulling their skin down, by just putting their lip down. There you go, and notice I'm still pulling the skin, always pulling the skin. Hey, and thanks for tuning in, guys. You know, I really appreciate you. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. I appreciate you for coming through and sticking around, you know, not bounce and go watching another video or something like that. Here we go with the design, guys. I don't like to freestyle, so I always go ahead and draw out what it is that I want to do. And by draw out, I mean with my finger. And notice I did it progressively a few times, and I'm still doing it. I just don't want to mess this up, you know? I don't move that way. Rather, I'm lying. I was just in Mexico, and I made some really cool designs. And I'm going to probably, I should put those videos in the end. That way you can see it. It was actually my first freestyle, like legitimately, these were my first freestyles that I've ever done in my entire life. This is 6 years in the barber game, by the way, guys. I don't like to move like that, you know? I don't like to freestyle because there's a lot of room forever like that. And I feel like when you plan it out to the end, there's not a lot of room forever. And that's why I like doing that, you know? But I did kill those freestyles, by the way. So yeah, guys, when you do a design, you want to hit it like, you know, regularly like that, how the trimmer is, you know, how you would regularly hold a trimmer. Then you want to go ahead and flip it so you could hit that guideline. There you go. Now it makes it thicker. Nowadays, people are doing really thick designs. So you want to go ahead and stick with the times. So make sure that the design is thin and it's not, it's not thin, but rather it's thick and it's not thin. Flip that trimmer. Make every single line as sharp as possible. You see, doesn't it look a whole lot better than thin? There you go. There you go. Trying to make the front there a little bit thicker. Hitting it with the razor. Again, holding the skin down, pulling it, hitting with the razor. Also with the razor, be very gentle, guys. Very gentle. Mind you, I'm using Astra blades. Those are my favorite blades. They're extremely sharp. They're the exact same price of Derby blades. I don't know why so many people use, well, rather I do know why people use Derbys, because they're cheap. But however, they're cheap. And not only that, but Astras are literally the exact same price, and they're 100 times better. They're like 10 times better than Derby blades. And that's our tutorial, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Clearly my man is feeling himself. I appreciate you for watching. Again, please consider subscribing. I love you guys so much. Thanks for sticking all the way through. Stick around and see those freestyles. All right, guys, thank you. Please give it a thumbs up, comment, and all that stuff. Peace.